This is our last module, Module 9, Chapter 11. These questions are not near as long as the previous module, so we get to end kind of a little easier. So this is appraisal methods. Some of this should be familiar to you from the appraisal class that you've probably taken by now. The replacement cost of a building has been estimated to be $275,000. The estimated economic life of this building is 50 years and the land is valued at $90,000. The appraiser estimates the building's accrued depreciation gives an effective age of 4 years. What is the current estimated value of this real estate by cost approach? 275 is our property. It has a life of 50 years. So per year. We're going to multiply that by 4 for 4 years. And it's going to give us 22,000. Okay, so we can say 275 minus our 22,000 gives us 253 is what our property, our building is worth, but we got to add our land, which is 90. So the replacement cost will be 343,000. The annual gross income from an office building is $76,500 and the monthly expenses are $2,700. If the appraiser uses an 11% rate of return, what is the estimated value of the property rounded to the nearest dollar? This is annual and this is monthly. So let's start by getting everything in the same language. Let's make this also make our expenses annual. Okay. So let's take our 76,500 is our income. Let's subtract our annual expenses. And that leaves us with 44,100. And we're doing an 11% rate of return. So I'm going to divide this by 0.11. And that equals 400. 909.09 is the value. Oh, to the nearest hundredth, I need to take that off. A building 100 feet wide and 200 feet long would cost $45 per square foot to replace. The land is valued at $200,000. The building was estimated to have an economic life of 40 years and now is effectively 5 years old. What is the estimated value of this real estate by the cost approach? Okay, well, let's start with our building is 100 by 200, which means it's a 20,000 square foot building at $45 per square foot. equals 900,000. It's got 40 years life, so let's take our 900 divided by 40. That equals per year of 22,500. It's 5 years old. That's 112,500. Okay. So let's take our 900, subtract our depreciation. And that gives us 787,500 for the building. Then let's add in our land. And that gives us a total value of value. A buyer purchased a 2,231 square foot home for $233,460. What was the cost per square foot? 233,460 divided by square feet. It cost $104.64 per square foot. You must attempt to appraise a 28-unit apartment house employing the income approach. You discover that each unit rents for $775 a month, an amount that seems consistent with the like rental units in the vicinity. For the last 5 years, the annual expenses of operation have averaged $86,200. The complex has maintained a consistent occupancy rate of 95%. A potential investor can only be located if the return is 12%. Using just these variables, what would your valuation be? All right, so we have 28 units, bringing in 775. Well, we have 95% of those units bringing in that amount. So let's say 28 times 0.95 equals 26.6 units bringing in 775 per month, which is 20,615 per year. It's going to bring in to 47,380. From that, let's remove our expenses. And that gives us a net of 161,180. But they need a 12% return. So let's divide that by 0.12, and that gives us 1,343,166.67 is the valuation. What is the indicated value of a property to an investor seeking a 12% annual return for a property generating $27,400 gross monthly income and have an annual operating expenses of $114? So we have monthly here and we have annual here. So let's convert this to everything to the same language, 27,400. Since this is annual, we want everything annual. So that's 328,800 minus our expense of 114,048 equals 214,752. We want a 12% rate, so we're going to divide by 0.12, and that's going to give us the value is 1,789,600. What capitalization rate is indicated for a property generating an annual NOI of 166,000 for which 6,000 for which investor recently paid 1,166,000. 166 divided by what he paid equals 15%. It really equals 0.15, but then we multiply by 100 to give us 15%. What is the indicated value of a rent house that commands $820 monthly gross rent in a neighborhood that generates a gross GRM of $120? The value of a rent house. 820 times 120 equals 98,400 value. What is the indicated value by the sales comparison approach of a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home with a deck and spa? Market research indicates that the spa and deck are worth $4,200 and a half bath is worth $1,100. A similar 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath home recently sold for $150,500. It had no deck and no spa. These questions you got to read carefully to not miss anything. So we have 150, 500. Sales comparison of a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It doesn't have a half bath. Okay. So what we want to do is take that, let's subtract that half bath, because our home that we're trying to comp does not have a half bath. Okay. And market research indicates that the spa and deck are worth 42 and a half bath. Okay, a similar 3 and 2 recently sold for $150, but it doesn't have a deck. So let's add in a deck. So we have 150,500 minus 1,100 plus 4,200 gives us our total of 153,600 is our value using the sales comparison approach. The subject property is similar to the comparable property in every other way than it has a fireplace. So the subject has a fireplace. The comparable did not. The comparable sold for $196,700, and your market study indicates that a fireplace is worth $1,400. So let's add a fireplace to it to give a value of our subject property of $198,100. That concludes Module 9, which is the last of our modules. I hope you enjoyed the class. I wish you lots of luck on the final. As usual, if you have any questions, please reach out to me.